I'm on the drugs right now. I can use your love right now. But instead they trying to tear me down.
Some good news. I can't lie. I do like this one. So Joe Biden becomes the first president to officially recognize the 1915 Armenian genocide. If y'all don't know what that is, the 1915 genocide killed an estimated 1.5 Armenians, and celebs like Kim Kardashian have long pushed presidents to formally recognize the mass killing as a genocide. So Biden said, each year on this day, we remember the lives of all those who died in the Ottoman-era Armenian genocide and recommit ourselves to preventing such an atrocity from ever again occurring. He said, beginning on April 24th, 1915, with the arrest of Armenian intellectuals and community leaders in Constantinople by Ottoman authorities, 1.5 million Armenians were deported, massacred, or marched to the deaths in a campaign of extermination. The last thing the president added, we honor the victims of the Meds, Yagurn, sorry for my pronunciation, so that the horrors of what happened are never lost in history, and remember so that we remain ever vigilant against the corrosive influence of hate in all its forms.
That's a really good thing, because that just sounded so dumb, but like I think that's great that they're actually like acknowledging that, because that was a crazy time for Armenians, especially like because when I was in school I had Armenian friends, and obviously we were young, so it's like we're pretty ignorant. So when I would tell them that I'm Muslim, they would look at me a certain type of way, because Turkey is a Muslim country. So when I tell them that I'm Muslim, it's like you're looking at me side-eye because, my people went through all this, and this is all I know, and it's just like, damn, that's just really fucked. But I think that's just phenomenal that they're acknowledging that. And recently, like on the day of that he did do that, I had a lot of Armenian people come into my job because, they're celebrating. And then I had like three groups of Armenian people, and two groups were like super happy, like finally this is happening, and like we need people to have awareness about this, and now we got a holiday, yeah. But then there was another group, it was these two Armenian ladies who were twins, and they were telling us, they're like, yeah, we were brought up in Armenia during the war, so it's a lot of like angst and a lot of like adversity that we faced around that time. And sometimes like something like this just kind of reminds us of the older times, and it just doesn't, like we don't need it in our face like that. You know what I mean? And that's
crazy that they
right?
said that. I'm going to actually come out, because that's the thing. When we talk about people it's like when we talk about even like black issues. You talk to one black person, they don't speak for everybody. So we can literally look at that, because that's kind of crazy to me, because like there's been so much of a fight from Armenians because for the fact of, 1.5 million Armenians were killed, massacred, and no president has ever acknowledged it. Why? Because we have relationships with Turkey, right? So no one wants to come out and acknowledge what has happened because of those lines. They want to keep the treaty. They want to keep everything good with them. They don't really care about all the Armenians living in the United States and just Armenians in general. We're like, this happened. It's like if we were still denying the Holocaust. I get that the numbers are way bigger, but it's at least like the Jewish people, we all acknowledge, everyone in the U.S. acknowledges the Holocaust. We went to a war over it. Germany, let them do their thing. But everyone pretty much understands the Holocaust, unless you're a neo-Nazi still living in the past. But it's acknowledged. You have this stuff that you talk about. What's the shit that they got back? That you get back, not retribution. Reparations. We talk about things like that. That can't be talked about when when nothing has been brought up. Like no U.S. president had ever acknowledged that this happened, 1.5 million people slaughtered, massacred. If you learn about the death marches that they took them on, for all the Armenian people that I know, and even the ones I don't know in general, but like when you understand like what happened and what they're really trying to get at, it's like, it's some serious shit, and it means everything for that shit to be acknowledged. And it's past the 100 years mark for war crimes to be but at least someone is acknowledging it in the U.S.
It's also, like all the Armenians would not show up on the day of school or the day of the Armenian genocide. They would never show up to school, and it's like, finally, now it's going to be an unexcused absence. Nah, it's well deserved, it's an actual holiday that they won't have to participate in, That's like, I think that's a really solid case. Can't lie, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, back at it again.
Joe has been saying the right things. I don't know about this new tax bill. We won't get into it this episode, but he's been saying the right things so far. Were you going to say something?
Oh, yeah, I'm just glad and happy for the Armenian people, because I remember they were having a bunch of protests like last year, just asking for people to acknowledge the genocide, asking for the government to give acknowledgement, give it legitimacy, stop acting like it didn't happen. And I'm really glad to see that happen, because I know a lot of people, like a lot of atrocities that happen all over the world just get ignored by mainstream media and by our own government and stuff like that. So it gives me hope that, because they've been putting up this fight for a long time. Yeah. Like, it gives me hope that, after a while, you might be able to get through and get what you want in terms of getting acknowledgement for the atrocities that happen to you and your people. So good ups for them. Like, I'm really happy for them and things. Hopefully it shows that other people can do the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I cannot help but agree with that.
I fuck with Armenians. Like, one of the things that stands out about Armenians is like the amount of unity they have for their own. Or at least that's what I've seen, like, growing up out in LA in the Valley and shit. The motherfuckers are always connected. Like, if anybody's getting down, they getting down with them, and it's pretty cool to see. I love seeing unity, especially like I don't think I've seen unity.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, actually, I want to go back to that, because you asked the question. You said, like, how could they think that? Like, those two ladies think that. So, like, could you expand on that? Like, why?
My only thing is because I mean, as you were talking about, like, it's kind of, if you're looking at it as, it's been kind of thrown back in our faces. But I think if you're speaking for the masses, it's like if some big bill got passed for black people and that was powerful, something that hadn't been done before, and you're like, man, I don't like to think about that stuff. I'm looking like, bro, you have ancestors that died. You have, and I understand what you're coming from in terms of war, and that's why I understand the personal thing of, right, yeah. It's hard for me to come back and experience those things. But I don't
on a large scale. You're on the macro.
That makes sense. Yeah, if you're at home, saying like, it hurts me to think of this stuff. But if you're thinking, and I wouldn't try to speak for Armenian people, but it's like, if you understand what happened and think about what's right, it's like, nah, this shit is someone needed to acknowledge it. And it's kind of silly that's literally what someone needs to acknowledge what history books will tell you happened. But it's like, yeah, bro, people, they went through way worse than just having to, see it be acknowledged. Being acknowledged is a powerful thing. So it's like, someone's like, that's the only reason I was like, what the fuck? Like, because even I'm looking at someone who's looked at this shit and been like, this is fucked up. It's like, that's basically how
I think like you make a great point. Like, being acknowledged is something to be great, because you felt like you've been being ignored. Like, to be ignored as an entire people. That's fucked up. Like, versus we talk about black issues a lot, but you never really hear about Armenians having these issues on large scale. So it's like, as an Armenian, I don't know, as an Armenian, or anybody that's not in that political limelight, it's kind of like, well, where do we stand too as a voice? Who are we at in this country? So definitely kudos to Joe Biden for playing that. And,
you know what, those two Armenian ladies, like, that was the start of the conversation. And they were telling me, they were like, yeah, Joe Biden passed this and all this, and then they're telling me their sorrows about it. But then, I got mad love from Armenian people, so I try to understand the culture a lot more. So I learned some phrases, and I was like, Inchka, Chika, so it's like, you good?
What
you
if?
Good?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I had some Armenian homies in the day.
So it's like, it's really cool. But then once they started seeing me know about certain things, like me knowing about the culture, it like enlightened them. Like me even knowing about Azerbaijan and like what they were doing out there, like all the bullshit that was happening during the pandemic, and it's probably still going on.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Like,
Got you.
Once they said that, they're like, man, I really do love that, like, he knows about, and they're talking to each other like, damn, I really like that he actually knows this. Yeah, it was like fulfillment in a sense.
And if we're being real, let's be real. Like, some people are they're damn right just outright like racist, or people have like notions of the Armenian guys. And let's be real, like we had the Armenian homies in high school. They come flying down the street in the fucking Lexus and stuff. But bro, to be honest, like I've never had no issues with any Armenian homies, because I feel like they're similar just in a way for them, or for the ones I've met. And I don't like to generalize. We sound ignorant generalizing. But we talking with the boys. I feel like a lot of them is like, it's respect. And they've always bowed in that. And when people that are respect oriented, I got a lot of Hispanic homies. Respect, similar thing is, if it's respect oriented, they deal with you. They might talk to their friends a certain way, be cussing about, but when they deal with you, it's always respect. I had homies and I used to do the little dap with them. Fuck with him, not the actual kid, but like the little sound, because it's like, it's respect based, and so I've never had issues like that. I know some people, they talk down, but people are racist to every different race and have like, the Armenian guys, but like, nah, bro, we've definitely had a lot of cool homies. We have close homies actually.
Yeah. One of my best friends is Armenian.
That's what I love about our group, because we don't ever have to be them niggas that's like, no, I got a homie of this. But if you really think about it, everybody got a homie of different race. We got our Asian brothers in the pod. We got our Indian brothers in the pod, also Asian.
Damn, that's crazy. We do have like
Jewish
diverse
homies.
Diverse pod, man.
We need some white friends.
We got some.
They're the Jewish friends.
I have a white friend.
Non-Jewish white.
Airsoft Tech, where you at?
Hey!
All right, man. So yeah, fuck it.
That's my one.
Wait. What did we just talk about?
Joe
Oh yeah,
Biden.
Joe. Okay. I'm thinking, where we at? All right.
So I love this brand new TV we got.
I know,
it's
man.
fucking beautiful.
We
What
got
is that?
this-
30 inches?
We got the screen up, man.
I love
We
it.
official
I
in this motherfucker. Screen man. All right. So next topic. So let's talk.
Girl, I'm off the drugs right now. I could use your love right now.